Hello everyone, welcome once again to another Excel tutorial by Team SlideScope. In this part, you will learn how to create this customer purchase behavior and shipping analysis dashboard where you can see we have season, we have category of purchase, like what type of product was purchased, its location, then we have size of those products, we have different colors, so you can select one color or you can compare revenue of different colors. This is total revenue and rating by payment method. This is total revenue by purchase frequency, if they are purchasing annually, bi-weekly, every 3 months, which is giving us more revenue. And here you can see once we have selected these colors, so this particular chart is getting filtered also. So how to create these KPIs, how to create these visuals, and this map chart particularly, because you cannot directly create a map chart with pivot table. So how to create that we will learn here, and data is given here. So let's learn how to create this interactive simple dashboard for data analysis purpose. So first we will open the data set in Excel, and if data set is given as CSV file, you can save it as an Excel file, that will be helpful. So we are saving the file as Excel file, and if it already exists, you can start working there itself. Then we can click on last column, which is month here, and here we can press Ctrl A or select all, and then we can press Ctrl T, which is create table command. And my table has headers, and this will create a table. Here you will get a table name. We will rename this as purchase data or purchase. This will be important, and then you can save your work. After saving your work, you can go to insert, and from insert you can insert a pivot table. Here you can select from table or range or external data. So we'll select table or range, and now you will see whatever tables you have created, their name will appear here, or you can type them and choose where you want your pivot table to be placed. We want in new worksheet, and we are not adding any data to data model at this time, and here is the pivot table. Now here is our same dashboard that we created in Power BI, like it's on the same data set. So this tutorial is also there for Power BI. Here we are doing it for Excel. So in Excel we create this, and first we start with a pivot table. So in your pivot table fields you will find all columns, and let's say we want to create some KPIs. KPI showing what is total revenue, like customers have purchased these products, what is average rating KPI, what is accessories revenue. So some filters will also be applied here. So let's see that. So here for example, if we are seeing the data, we have customer ID, we have age, gender, item purchased, and here purchase amount is given. Then we have location, size, etc. What was the shipping type, what was payment method used, review rating given by them. So everything is given. Now here we have to, we also have information of previous purchases. So first thing is purchase amount, that is in USD. So if you click on any visual, you will be able to see which fields are used here. So here date is used, and in measures table, target purchase value and total purchase is created, which is using purchase amount. If you are not familiar with Power BI, you don't have to worry about this. So here important KPI for us is what is total purchase value. The first thing we will select is purchase value. So here we will select purchase amount. So it will automatically start showing sum of purchase amount, and in you will see it's almost same value. In sum of purchase amount, you can also click here and you can go to value field settings. You can select average, minimum, maximum. Sometimes these are also important KPIs for a business. So here we will write total purchase amount or total revenue. Like here we have given the heading as total revenue. So here also we can write it as total revenue. And here in number format we can go custom and say we can select two decimal places. So if total revenue some after applying some filters or something, if there are decimal places, we just want two decimal places. So this is our first KPI, total revenue. Then we can copy this, or before copying this, what we do is we apply slicers. Like if you will apply slicers in your first visual itself, then it will be easier for you to apply it in your dashboards. First thing, we are going to call it pivot table. So pivot underscore table. This will help us in finding that this is data, this is pivot table, and here we are going to create our dashboard, our main interactive dashboard. So to put some filters in our dashboard, what we have to do is we have to click on it. So we will click on our pivot table and here we will insert slicer. So first we'll go to pivot table, analyze, insert slicer. Here you can select what slicers you want to apply. So here we use category, season, like what type of product were they purchasing, in which season were they purchasing, location, gender. We were using these kind of filters. So when you have to use filter, you have to select that. So first I will select color, size, location, category, gender. Obviously we can create multiple dashboards here. We can use other values also. We can use other fields in filter also, and season, let's say. So we will have a lot of filters here. Here you can see we have filter, so we can use them like this. So we can give them something like this. Obviously we want to use more filters, so we have to use this drop down. So we will just arrange them, and this is how we are going to show in our main dashboard. So this is how you can use your filters in Excel. Then we have location. So for location also we will show two values to users and then they can use the scroll bar, because we have many filters, otherwise we would have kept it open, and this way we can use these filters. Here in these filters, for example, if I am selecting this, I can say I want two columns. So that's how we can make their size is smaller also. Here also. So these type of settings can also be done. So whenever you are using filters, make sure you are using them more effectively. So here you can see we have these filter settings, and in your slicers you have different options like light turquoise slicer style is there. You can also select these pre-given styles in your slicer, or you can create a custom style, which we have explained in one of our recent videos. It was focused on customization of slicers. You can check that video out as well. Now when we are creating this, so why have I applied filters right now? Because if I want to see total revenue of all large size clothings or apparels, I can see here. I can clear how much revenue do we have from female customers and from male customers, so we can use that. So these filters will help us in interacting with data and understanding it in a better way. So we have that. Then when we go to our main sheet, so here you can see this is purchase amount, this is age of these customers, this is review rating. I am focusing on all those values that are given as numbers. So then we have previous purchases. So here what we are going to do, we will go to pivot table. Let's say this is purchase amount. Then we will select age. In age, sum of age will not make sense. So we will select average. And instead of writing average of age, we will just write average age. So this will be our second KPI. And here also you can see we have many decimal places. So that's why in every setting you go to number format, custom, select two decimal places, apply. Now this is our second KPI. What is average age of these customers, which is 44.06. When we are describing a numerical field, we can tell minimum, maximum, standard deviation, variance, different type of things can be given here. Then after age, we will also select review rating, and here also we will go to value field setting, average. So we will select average review rating, or we can call it average rating given by customers in number format, custom. Click OK. Sorry. So this way now we have three KPIs, and similarly we can keep increasing. Then they have their previous number of purchases. So here sum of previous purchases is given. We can select how many previous purchases were there. So average of previous purchases, number format, custom, same. So on an average, one customer has 25.44 previous purchases. And similarly, if you want to find total number of orders in this particular case, so or total number of customers in this case, we can also select column which is customer ID, which is the identifier column. And here, because it's number, so it will give you sum of it. But we can go to value field setting, select count, and this will always be integer, and we can call it count of customers or number of customers, and click OK. So this particular case has total of 10,745 customers with a total revenue of this much. Average age is given, average rating is given by customers, and average number of previous purchases is also given. Now when it comes to dashboard, we can go to this empty sheet. In this empty sheet, we can first go to view, and we can disable grid lines. So this will give us this plain type of interface. Now here we can add some shapes. So in insert tab, you will find some shapes. From here we can insert shape like this. So we can add a shape for heading of our dashboard. For example, something like this, and which is what we have created here, like this, where we have created customer purchase behavior and shipping analysis. So this is also created on a shape. Now in this shape we can write, so we can double click somewhere and paste that particular text and increase its font size. After increasing font size, we can go to home tab, vertical and horizontally we can align it to center. So here in our dashboard we have plain background. If you want, you can use some color here. So we can select and go to home tab and fill with some color. So here in my case you can see the palette that I have, so I can easily select that. In your case you can also go to more colors and select color of your choice. So from here we can select any color as our background. So let's say if we are going with this, or we can go with a white background as well. We can also insert some images here. So in pictures you can select some pictures from this device, like you can download from your online sources and save it in your computer. So here you can see I have some images here. So if I want to use, for example, this image, if I want to use this image, so I can select them and I can insert. Both pictures will be inserted and then we can put them here. So this is image of our logo. If you want to learn data analytics, Excel or anything related to data science, you can learn at SlideScope. So we are adding this image. Now once you are adding this image, you can see picture format, where you can apply some kind of formatting over it, like this or this, some shadow. Whatever you prefer, you can add. It is available in picture format. So you can go here and preview settings and then you can select that. We have many such options available. So whatever we feel is good for our image, we can add that, or you can leave it as such. Now for your filters area, for example, we have some filters area. So in our filters area also, I'm going to use this image. This is 100% width here. So now I can increase my heading size because this area will be used for filters. Now it is done. I don't want this much, like I don't want 32 font size for my heading, so I will use it like this because we have to put other visuals here also. So we will arrange the size of these images accordingly. So here we can do that. Now to show these KPIs, we have to put some shapes as we have done here. Like these are some shapes. So in Excel also, we can go to insert, add a shape. You can add either a rounded corner rectangle or simple rectangle. And here you can add these shapes depending upon how many KPIs you have. For example, if we have 5 KPIs, so we can put these 5 numbers here. So, and background of these shapes will also depend upon how you want to show the data. For example, here we have used white background with a shadow and numbers over it. So for example, if we are on this shape, we can go to shape format where we have shape fill. Let's say we are going with this, then we have shape outline. You can select no outline, then you can go here and you will be able to find shape effects. So like we have some preset effects like this or this. You have different type of options. You have shadow, so you can also go with something like this for shadow or 3D kind of effect that we apply. So whatever you prefer. So for example, we can select this. It will be your choice what you want to put, but this way you can add 4 or 5 different numbers here, and then on these numbers we can show the data. So I'm just arranging them like this so that because I have 5 numbers with me, so I will display them. Now for example, we want these filters, so we can also copy them and put them here. So these filters we can use in we have left and right hand sidebar now available, so we can use these filters there. So let's resize them so that we can use them properly. So you can arrange your filters like this. Actual size of this chart will be something like this. We can also hide formula bar, so that's why we can increase their height because they have so many options. That's why we have kept them in bottom order, like so that people can easily scroll. Now we can go back to our show tabs setting, and now we can customize these numbers. To customize these numbers, you can see we are starting from A4 to E4. So if in this pivot table we have these numbers, So if we insert a text box here, so let's say if we insert a text box here, in this text box, if I go to formula bar and type equal to pivot underscore table and exclamation A4, then I will get that number, that is total sales or total revenue. And now I can put this number here. We can give it a size of 20, so make it bold, and we can also select a font color from our theme. So not background, sorry, font color. So from here we can select a font color like this, and to give it a heading we can just type it here, total revenue. Or in a similar way we can copy heading also. Heading will be in A3. Now we can align this heading but in vertical center and sorry, horizontal center, and from here we can select its font size as 20, make it bold, and then we can give it a similar kind of color as well. So because it's a heading, we can give it little bit of different color, let's say this, and then we can arrange it properly because these headings will be bigger, so we can arrange it like this. If you want, because this is representing revenue, so we can go and insert some icons also. These icons have some monetary icons, so if we go, or we can search money here, so you can select any one of them. So let's say we are going with this bill. We can rearrange its size, and from here we can go to graphics fill and select similar kind of color. So this will become our KPI. Now we can copy this visual or this text here, and in this text we want to show our second KPI, which is B4. B4 is average age. We just saw that. We can click on it, format painter, apply it here. So this is average age of customers, and here we can write average age. We can try to format paint here and apply, or you can apply the same styling in average age also. We can insert some icon because it's customer, so we can select some customer related icon. So we can write something like user, and from here you can select. So let's say I'm just going with this. Later we can decide what better icon we can select. Here also, after selecting this icon, graphics fill, we will apply the same color. What we can do, we can select everything here, copy and paste. So for example, we can get rid of this, paste it. Now we already have the stylings applied. All we need to do is just change their heading. So our third value is average rating. So here we will just write average rating. For this we may have to give font size 18 because here 20 is not working. Now this will be in C4. This will lose its styling, so we can copy format painter. So this will be average rating. Here also, because customer is giving a rating, so let's see what icon we can add. So we can go and we can add some icons here. So this way we can similarly create all KPIs. This is previous purchases where we are using D4. This is E4 where we are using customers count. So you can bring data from pivot table because filters were applied there on these KPIs, and we are bringing the same dynamic data here. So if you will apply these filters, so you will be able to see that these values are also changing as per our selected value. For example, if we want to see in Illinois, so we can see the data. So this way you can do that. So this is our KPIs, and now we will try to build more visuals like purchase value by product, revenue by payment method, etc. To create that, what we are going to do, we will copy this table and we'll add it here. So after copying and adding it here, we have pivot table analyze, and we can bring back the field list. Now we don't want customer ID, age, review rating, and previous purchases. So we have total revenue, and now we will select some categorical fields like total revenue by different category. So we will get a data like this. Here we will quickly go to insert tab, and in pivot chart you will have all available options. If that option is not available, for example field map, stock, so then you have to use different type of tricks to see this data, which we have shown in our recent videos. Like in this video you can see we have shown map chart, the world map chart. In this video we have shown a scatter plot. So these charts are not available by default in Excel, but you can create them. So we have some tricks there, so you can check these videos as well. Let's go back. Here we will use some simple charts. So for example we have bar chart, which is showing that in clothing accessories we have highest amount of revenue. Now this graph will be created. We can, and it is showing total because this is showing total revenue, this is showing total revenue. So what you can do is you can write something like total revenue by category. So this will be our graph title, and we can copy this. Here you have different styling. For example, you can select this, you can select this, you can select different kind of stylings here, and whatever you prefer. For example, let's go with this simple styling, and we can copy this and go to dashboard and paste it here. So once you have created your chart in pivot table sheet, you can copy it and paste it here. So this will be total revenue by category. Let's say we want to add 3 charts in one row, so we will keep the width like that itself. Here if we go to pivot chart options, then we have different type of options, like you can merge and center cells with labels, you can define alt text, you can select data, etc. These are different settings that are used in different cases. But if you click here and you can select format chart area, then you will see different options like fill, what will be the fill color, what will be the pattern. So if you want to fill some pattern, you can select here. You can go with no fill. Then you have borders, like what will be your border color. We can select rounded corners, so this will be an option. Then we can go to this pentagon icon where we have shadow and glow. So like we have some presets, so if we go with this preset, then it will give us effect like this. So we can select this as well, as we have done for our KPIs. So this will be a simple option. Now as we have done total revenue by category, so what we can do, obviously we can adjust its height, and we can click on this format area, yeah, this one, and now we can increase its height. So this way we will have more area for our chart, because people want to see these bars and these numbers. So now we have total revenue by category. From here, if you want, you can delete these charts because their work is done. We have already copied them in our main table, but I'll just let it be. Now important thing is why I copied this table. When I copied this table, you can see when I'm applying these filters, So these filters are also getting applied on these charts. So in this pivot table, you can go to pivot table analyze and you can see filter connections. So you can see all these filters are available on this as well. If you will not copy pivot table and rather go and insert a new table, so you have to apply these filter connections again, and that will take more time. So it is easier to just copy and edit these pivot tables. Now we have seen total revenue by category. We can copy this once again, field list, and let's say we want to see total revenue by different season. So this will total revenue by season. If we are selecting two charts, like two fields, two categories, so it will give you this kind of effect. We don't want two categories, so we will select one categorical data which is season and another that is purchase amount. They are very much similar, like these numbers are very close to each other. And similarly we can again go to insert pivot chart, and here you can see a line chart is available here, a pie chart is available here. So we can go with a simple pie chart. In this simple pie chart you will be able to see that. Now we can call it total revenue by season. We can make it bold and we can align it here, copy and paste here. When you will paste, you will see a lot of different options, but when we have to actually do alignment and formatting, so we have to get rid of them and we can enable them later. So here you can see total revenue by category is there, where this is legend and it is showing which color represents what category. So we can use this legend here, and as I said, they have pretty much similar kind of revenue. Here also you can select different colors. For example, this option is there, so whatever you prefer. For example, we can go with this one, and here also we can use the same kind of shadow effects as we did in this case. So if we select a chart and format painter and apply, so you can see it is not copying most of the setting. In Power BI and other tools we can do it easily. So we can go format area once again, and in shadow preset I selected this one. So we will select this, and in border preset we will select rounded corners. So this way we will have our second chart, that is total revenue by season. Now we will go back to our pivot table part again, and here we will copy this once more. So as a beginner you are seeing that we are selecting one categorical value and we are using another numerical value. But what if we use one categorical, two numerical, or two categorical and one numerical, something like that. So for example, if we are here, we go to pivot table analyze in field list. So we want, let's say, if we will have paid by different payment methods, and we also want to see their average rating. So here you will be able to find the review rating. Now we have this data. For total revenue we will keep some, but for review rating we have to keep the average value. So, and here also we will just use short version, average rating. So now it is given, and I told you that by default it will show 7 or 8 decimals, numbers after 7 or 8 decimal places, so we can round them with 2 decimal places. Now we have this average rating. Now for this type of chart we have to go with a combo chart. So we can go insert in pivot chart, you can go with combo chart, where you have first option, which is this, that total revenue will be shown as a bar and average rating as a line. You can select this. So, or you can also select both values as clustered data. So for example, we can go with clustered columns. So here we have column, here we have bar. For example, like this, you can see average rating. We can select this also, we can select this. You can see we have different options available. So whatever you prefer, for example, if we are, even if we are going with column or 3D column, you can select these options. So you can either select a stacked version or clustered version. So I will go with this particular version, and you can go as per your choice. So here we have this data, and we will copy this, paste it here, and use the same kind of formatting as we did earlier. So we'll use proper width, similar height. Here you can see now we have very less amount of area for our main chart, so we can format it properly. Let me do that. So I have used a small width for legend, and I'm increasing main width. We can also include it here, so I can reposition it here. So you can spend some time and do formatting like this. Again, I will format chart area. We will use rounded corners, and in presets we will use this second outer version. So now I have this data also, which is showing total revenue and average rating by payment method. We can, if you want to add some label to your chart, so you can add or insert a text box. We already have a text box, we can copy and paste here, or you can go and insert from top, from here. So here we can write whatever this is. So this is total revenue by payment method. If you want to include rating also, so we can, here we have less area, so for our heading, so I'm going to use this size, which is 9 pixel at this moment. So I am going to use this. We can try 11 at least. So you can arrange them like this, and similarly we have other options like total revenue by location, total revenue by different type of colors that we have. So we can, what we can do is we can simply use them. So for example, let's copy once again. So here we have total revenue. So in pivot table analyze field list, so we can select by location. So you can see we have different locations of US. These are different US states. So we can again go to insert pivot chart. Usually for charts like this we will prefer a map chart, but as I said, that is a different kind of setting. So we can go with a simple column or bar chart, and here we can select them. So here for bar charts also we have different type of options like this, where we can select data like that. Obviously because we have so many locations, so we can choose that and click OK, and this is showing by different locations that we have in the data set. So we can try another option. Let's try. So if I copy this entire thing like obviously I have row labels and total revenue here. So what we can do, we can copy them, and obviously these will be 50 values. So we are copying these values, and they are starting from A40 to A89, and when we are pasting them, we can paste values only. So when we do that, so these are row labels obviously, so row labels are states. So now if we select this, because this is outside of pivot table, if we select this and go to insert and map, so now this map is created. We can select row label, and now you can see with the help of Bing this map is created, but this map is not dynamic. Okay, like for example, if we are selecting a particular state, this is not dynamic. So how to make it dynamic? But this one got, filter. So first clear the filter. To make it dynamic, we can click on it and we can go and select data. Now once we are in select data, then we can select these values once again. So all these values. Now if we select this and click OK, now let's try. We can get rid of this later. If I select Montana, so you can see such as state, province, Missouri. So now actually it is showing data, but somehow it is not able to figure out what it is. So this is not how we expected. So somehow location is not working, which I will figure out and upload in second part. But other filters like size, this is working perfectly. So I will, so that's how we can say that this data is not dynamic. Obviously why it is not filtering for location, we will check that out later. And now we can delete the data which is not needed. So, and chart title will be total revenue by state or location. In second part I will make sure that why this location filter is not working. I will check that out. Now if I go to dashboard and then I can paste it here, we can arrange it properly like this, and here we have different kind of shadows options, like we have preset. We can go with the same preset. Here in border you can see rounded corners are not available. Like if we create graphs that are other than pivot charts, so this option is not available. There are different ways of doing that, but we will figure them out later. Here we can now make it bold, and we can try other filters, like what if I select blue color. So for blue color you can see revenue by different countries, or sorry, states. Then for cyan, for green, so you can see it is dynamic for all other filters. So this way we can arrange that. Let's try to fit 100%. So this is total revenue by location. If we click here, so that's okay. I was just trying to see the height. We can see, show this height. Here dark colors are representing states with higher revenue, and light colors are states with lower revenue. That what we can do. Now we can copy. So this is total revenue by location. In a similar way, you can also show total uh, you know, rating by location. Different numbers can be selected. Similarly, I will copy this one again, paste it here, and this time I will select another categorical value. So we have done by different values. We can select color as well. So now you can see we have different colors. and here we will again go to insert, and let's go to insert. For this also, best chart is column chart, so we can select total revenue by color, like which color has given us more revenue. We can see colors like yellow have given us more revenue. Now in this chart also you have different options, some options where labels are available, some options like this, or we have some options like this. So I'll just go with this. Here we have different color options also, like we can select a single color like this or something like this, or we can go with different color palette. Obviously here we don't have different categories, so better selection will be monochromatic. This is total revenue by color, and we can copy this and paste it here. Here we will go to presets, apply, and then use height same as its neighbor, and width also same as top neighbor. This way we have this data. Here we have this legend position which we can make it here, and we can increase the chart area. So you can do this kind of customization. There are a lot more customizations that can be done, but we are just going with this much. So this is total revenue by color. Similarly, we will copy and paste one more time, and we have purchase amount and color. Now these people are buying products, and they have different frequency of purchase, like annually, bi-weekly, every 3 months, and depending upon frequency of purchase also we can go to insert. We can select this data and insert chart here, so we can insert a pivot chart. Here we also have another type of chart available, which is radar chart. In radar chart you can see on the basis of different categories like annually, bi-weekly, it will create a polygon, and then you can see some values are close to center, like they are close to the vertex, some values are close to center. This is how it represents numbers. So we can select this kind of chart, we can select this filled polygon also. So let's go with this where numbers are also visible. So here we will go with this data, and this is total revenue by purchase frequency. We can make it bold. Here also we have different color options, like we can go with this. Here we are not going with dark colors, but we can paste it here, and after pasting, first I will arrange its position. So in Power BI we have guidelines that we can use, but here we have to do as per our assumption. Here also this total legend is given, which is not needed actually because we don't have any other value. So title is given, we can use 14 pixel as title size, so 14 pixel, and we can use more space for our main chart. So you can arrange it when you are satisfied that it is looking good, then you can leave it. And here we can We are not going with rounded corner in row 3 or row 2, but we are going with presets. So now we have this chart available with us, and we can increase the height of these filters up to this point. And now to present, there are different options of presenting it, but we can go with auto hide ribbon. And one more thing is, we can go to view for this particular page, and we can disable headings and formula bar also. So now this chart is available with us, and now we can arrange it because we want to use full height. So like we can arrange their position, increase their height little bit. So if you want to add some footer note, you can add as well. Like in footer, if you want to give some kind of heading, you can add, or you can just use the entire area for your visuals like I'm doing here. So now we have this data, and let's see in full view. So now you can present it to your company, or if you are doing for your institute, you can present these values. And for example, we can apply different kind of filter. Let's say we select a particular category, we want to see revenue for that particular category. You can select a location, we want to see for that location. Season, you can select that. As I said, why this filter is not getting location, I will do that in the second part of this video. So this way you can apply different kind of filters here and check revenue, check rating, and in a similar way you can create another dashboard that is focused towards rating or focused towards number of customers acquired. So those kind of things can be done. So thanks for watching this part. If you have any suggestions, if you have any questions, please ask them in the comment section. If you like this video and want to receive more Excel, Power BI or Tableau tutorials, please subscribe to our channel so that we can bring more and more videos for you. Thanks for this part once again. Have a nice day.